I'll lick your anus.
We should be live. Yep, we are live.
Live?
So, yep. Welcome to the first episode of the Jade Boys. This is the home where three retarded teens commentate over relevant topics, and we do it retardedly. Anyways, here's your host. It's Xervo. There's Grady and Jason.
I'm not here, actually. I'm never here.
So we're gonna have fun here. We like to have fun here, just like people at Penn State. So, yeah. Sorry if you hear the dog barking. I know, I'm professional. Yeah. All right. So,
This cocaine tastes weird.
What's our first topic here, boys?
We could talk about Logan Paul.
All right. You seem to be the expert on Logan Paul, so go ahead.
Of course, I'm an expert on Logan
Take
Paul.
it and tell me, because I haven't heard anything about this. So go ahead.
Okay, so basically, he just got done getting headhunted, and he made a video. I think it was the koi one that came first, and basically there was this koi that was like basically dying in his pond, and he just like rips it out of the pond, and he's like, "Hey, let me give this koi CPR."
Wow. Was this on his like Castaway video thing that he posted for like his return?
I think it was on that. Yeah, I think it was on that.
I haven't watched it. Like again, I don't follow Logan Paul.
He called himself a 22-year-old boy.
I could believe that. Because he is a child trapped inside an adult's body, so I could easily believe that.
And then they found like a dead rat on their balcony. And
so this is the one that I've heard about, where he
just pulls out a taser. Like, a dead body is still a dead body. If I find a dead rat in my house, I'm gonna be like, you fought valiantly.
Alright. Yeah. Again, I could believe that he is a hypocrite upon his own words, I guess you could say. He killed a fish and tased a dead rat. Maybe he was trying to bring that dead back to life. Did we ever think about that?
His friends, the two friends that were there, they were like, there was this one like short girl, and she was like, "Stop!" But obviously she couldn't shriek too loud because she'd get beaten, put in a body bag, and thrown in the dungeon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nick Crompton.
50 Shades of Paul.
Nick Crompton.
50 Shades of Nick Crompton.
Nick Crompton would have like easily just be like, "Hey, you want to join Team 10? Come here. I got you.
England is my city."
He's like, "England is my city."
He wouldn't be interested though. He's gay.
Yeah. He likes to hire men into his team by giving them the sexual pleasures in the booty hole.
Yep. Just like you, Joe.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, so Logan Paul tased this rat for no reason. Again, I haven't watched the video, so I don't know.
Like, no reason. And then YouTube suspended ads from his channel.
I think he kind of deserves that.
He definitely deserves that, but like, okay, you would have thought that after the Suicide Forest, his channel would have been removed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's worse than the PewDiePie situation.
It's a lot worse. Case, and they took his
and PewDiePie got a lot worse for saying the N-word.
Yeah.
PewDiePie had his YouTube Red canceled. He single-handedly started the demonetization of Wave. He had his Fiverr banned.
It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. It was more so of like anonymity that popped. Anonymity.
And the media.
Yeah.
It was mostly fault on the media because.
Yeah, it all started because of an ISIS video had an ad on it, which that's just a rare case. I mean, who's gonna sit there and watch an ISIS video and be like, "Oh man, look at those Nike commercial ad, man! I can't believe they're mad. Why are they sponsoring this content?" Nobody's thinking that. They still know it's a mistake.
Coca-Cola just wants to make it to where when you crack open a cold one, it cracks open you.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so I think the next topic that we should go on to is these power crystals that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to read into it yet. So,
yeah.
what are these power crystals about? I'll pull it up right now that way I can read on it.
Yeah, I was probably going to just get on League and chill. But from my understanding, they could be like, I don't know, like quantum dots or something. It's basically like infinite electricity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're called like nanocrystal. It's called nanocrystal electricity if you guys want to look it up. But pretty much, from my understanding of what I'm seeing here, is that it's going to change your life. And
Elon Musk has already beaten his meat like 147,000 different times too already.
Probably. Apparently it's going to be wireless as well. It's going to be like a wireless electricity. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great for electric cars because then electric cars will not have to run off of the great source of lithium batteries anymore. So that'll be great. Pretty much putting Elon Musk's lithium battery company out of business if these take off.
Yeah, I thought, I don't know, he'd probably fund it.
Yeah,
he's probably going to get a lot of money from it.
Yeah, he'll probably fund it, yeah.
He'd get a lot of money from, like, his cars.
Yeah.
They'd definitely be like the next big thing.
What I'm picturing is that the prices for this are going to like skyrocket because since it's something new and it's going to be pretty exclusive from my understanding, or what I would picture it being is pretty exclusive, unless a lot of people like Elon Musk or the guy that owns Virgin Airlines. I cannot remember his name, but as long as like those guys get into it and like increase its production rate, it'll probably become less expensive. But if it's just what it says now, which is like China's working on it, it'll probably be pretty expensive.
I mean, whenever a new piece of technology is produced, it's always for the wealthy.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that can get to it first.
Elon Musk is gonna make everything less expensive.
Yeah, that's what he wants to do.
If he sits there and mass produces it like he normally does. But yeah, we don't know for sure either, though.
Maybe he could send another Tesla into space, but with infinite electricity inside of it.
Yeah.
I actually wonder what this is actually going to do for, like, the world of space as well. Because now, since we're already talking about going to Mars, if we have these, what can they like last on Mars? That's a good question to look at, though.
This is gonna be great for Elon Musk.
Yeah. He's in the best fields for it. He's got the Hyperloop that he's working on as well.
You know, it's something that's going to definitely benefit us if Stephen Hawking is commenting on it, saying that it will change people's lives.
Yeah. In which we can already picture like the infinite possibilities for this. We've seen it with like Elon Musk, for example. It could easily take this and put it into everything that he owns because he's in such a vast field, man. He's pretty much got a monopoly.
Next thing we know, he's going to be the world's richest man.
Yeah, for sure.
I bet eventually one day he might be.
Yeah, he's gonna pass. He's gonna pass the owner of Amazon.
Tesla is his company, and he's like the co-founder of Tesla.
Yeah, and he started PayPal.
Yeah.
As well. That's how he got rich, though, is because of PayPal. It's great.
Yeah, and if he helps fund this and the research that goes into it, there's going to be a lot of profit to be made from it.
Yeah, easily a lot of profit.
And it's new technology, so since the FCC said it was a go on them selling it, it's as soon as Elon can get his hands on it.
Yeah. He will probably get his hands on it pretty fast. He's gonna sit there, throw that thing and everything. Even like, you see that boring flamethrower over there? Give me that. Stick it in there.
Infinite electricity for flamethrowers.
Look, Elon, that electricity, that thing doesn't run off electricity. Oh well. Now we got a shotgun. We can go around tasing people with a fucking 10-foot long.
Like, he could if he wanted to make his own taser company.
If you want to make his own taser, what?
Like his own taser company based off of what this whole thing is. Because, I mean, honestly, the company like starting to produce it. If he wanted to purchase it or like merge companies with them,
Yeah.
that would go over well for him.
Oh yeah, for sure. He has a lot of possibility for this, like easy. He's probably the only entrepreneur that I can think that has like so much opportunities for this. I mean, Amazon's got a lot of possibilities, same with Google, but they're not in as much of a field range as Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Like, Amazon can use this for their stores that they have.
Mm-hmm. Drones and stuff.
Yeah, and their drones. And then Google can sit there and use it for their servers.
Yeah. I would imagine Google would heavily in it for wireless servers, but...
Yeah. They'd easily throw their hands on it. Same with Apple. Apple would probably get into it for their phones.
Yeah.
And then Apple would find a way to slow their phones down.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then...
You see here, the phone battery that it doesn't even have, it could break, thus unleashing an infinite supply of electricity into the world, so we have to slow it down.
Oh, yeah. And then, yeah, like, that covers the nanocrystals pretty well for this topic.
Yeah.
Right.
On the Logan Paul thing, though, he also did this parachute thing right after he talked to somebody that survived jumping off of the Gate Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
It obviously wasn't a coincidence. Like, he probably just landed, cut his first parachute off, and was like, hey...
Let's see if I can find this image right now. I'll pull it up on the stream. So, let's see, notifications.
I can, like...
I
don't know if he is like a straight up sociopath or a psychopath, but he really lacks empathy and he has no respect for anything that's dead.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, a dead body is still a dead body.
For sure.
And I can't think of anybody that would get like a koi pond and then
taste the koi pond.
Rip their koi out of it when it's dying and give it and perform CPR. Like,
yeah, he'd just sit there and be like, alright, time to taste the koi pond, that way we kill all the fish inside the koi pond.
Yeah. One koi's down, we're gonna have to tase it now.
Yeah. I can't find the image, I'm not gonna sit there and search for a long time. There's way too much tweets.
I just, like... I don't see the point.
I don't know, Logan Paul, right? He seemed pretty chill.
Well, he was doing all of this before.
Yeah, like at first he seemed pretty chill, like way before he started like
turning. His vine.
Yeah, like he seemed pretty chill, and then all of a sudden he just sit there and like kind of did a complete 180.
Yeah.
He messed one thing up, and now he's just got to mess everything up.
Yeah, like...
I mean, in his YouTube career, I think one of the big things, like the big issues, was
fix the chat real fast. Go ahead.
Whenever he like faked getting shot in the back of the head with his shotgun in front of all of his fans. Or
yeah.
Not all of them, but...
If he's gonna go out, he's gonna go out with a bang.
There we go.
Just like he should.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Logan, like I said, Logan Paul seemed pretty chill like before everything happened, and then he just it was like he just like succumbed to like the grind of YouTube to the point that he is this character that he.
I mean, he was always the same person.
Yeah, he's always been the same person, but now it's like more so that he just wants everybody to be like, "Yo, I'm Logan Paul. I'm a maverick, bro. Look at this. I can jump off the freaking Amsterdam Bridge into the lake. Go buy my merch, bro. Maverick, savage."
Now that YouTube actually stopped him from getting ads, he's gonna be Buy my merch, link in bio every 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like his fan base is just such, like a bunch of little kids that don't know anything better. Like they just don't know anything better, so they're gonna be like begging their parents for this merch, and then you're just gonna see around your high schools like a bunch of little kids from like middle school to fucking like high school, not middle school, not high school, but elementary to like middle school, and they're gonna be like the Logangers versus the Jake Paulers, and just try to like beat the shit over each other. They're just gonna go to war.
That would be great. I would like pay.
Bro,
honestly.
I would
pay to leave the high school for a day, just watch the chaos.
I would sit there and just like be in the background, just have a camera just in there recording it. I would be that guy, just recording this like fucking brutal murder.
It'd be like gladiator fights.
Yeah, man.
It would.
I would like
the World Star.
I'd sit there. I would hand one like a Nerf sword. I'd hand one the sides a Nerf sword, and then I'd hand one the other sides like a Nerf gun, and just be like,
dude,
"Go at it,
screw
boys."
that. I'm handing him a blunted tourney. I'm watching him fend off like 14,000 midgets.
Yeah, I would sit there and be like whispering into his ear, "Yo, the Logangers over there said Jake Paul." Alright, no, wait. Yeah, the Logangers over there said Jake Paul really likes to suck Logan Paul's dick because you know they're incest. They're like questionably incest. And then he'd sit there and be like, "What? No! Jake Paul's a savage!" And then sit there and go at him with the fucking Nerf sword, and it just cause like a fucking all right fucking brawl of like little kids being like, "Jake Paul, Jake Paul, Jake Paul," and then you just hear "Logan for life, woo!"
When the 2 last kids are left, I'm gonna be like the king, and I'm either gonna put a thumbs up or a thumbs down, indicating whether or not they have to fight to the death.
Dude, give a thumbs down, pull your gladius out of the ground and cut their head.
I would sit there and like be the king. I'd put them in like the fucking arena and have them go at it, and then at the end, I'd look at the winner and just be like, "You're a fucking Loganger." Are you like?
This is a very psychopathic conversation.
Are you a Jake Pauler, right? I'd be like, thumbs down. And just have him executed right there on the spot for being a Loganger or Jake Pauler. Hey man, we gotta stop this.
Psychopathic conversation.
We gotta stop this while we're ahead, alright? We can't let them just take over the masses and beat the crap out of all of us, alright?
Yeah.
So, we need to stop it.
Jason, you know Dayton and his half siblings or whatever?
Yeah.
All of them are like Logan and Jake Paul fans. And they ride my bus.
There's this girl that goes to her school. I'm not gonna name names in case anybody is watching, but she has like a fucking like Team 10 like sweater. I'm just sitting there like looking at her, and I have a match in my hand. I'm just sitting there like, eventually I'll burn it. Eventually, not today, not tomorrow, but eventually.
Soon.
Yeah, it'll happen soon. But then, I guess the next topic to start discussing, let's forget that we talked about murdering kids and having kids fight. Alright, I think the next topic that we should discuss is a pretty serious topic. Happened recently on Wednesday, the Florida Parkland shooting.
Yeah.
So, in case any of you don't know, there was a school shooter that came in to Florida's Parkland school. He was a student at one point in time, but he was kicked out. He came in, pulled the fire alarm, and just started mowing down on kids while he was there.
Yeah, premeditated murder.
Yeah. It's pretty messed up. He ended up fleeing, like he went through one of the back doors with all the other students, and he was trying to like flee away, and the cops caught him and arrested him. But they caught
him in like another neighborhood. Yeah, there's a police officer that had heard a description of him, and he noticed something was up.
Yeah, that boy's got some big ears.
And what we don't fully understand is why the FBI didn't stop him, because we have word that apparently there's word that the FBI got information on this beforehand. We don't know for sure upon the matter, but apparently there was a YouTube comment, right? This YouTube comment said, "I want to be a professional school shooter." and it was by the guy himself. His YouTube name on YouTube was his name, and he said, "I want to be a professional school shooter." Somebody took a screenshot of this and sent it to the FBI, and apparently the FBI came and talked to the guy, but there was no further backing upon this situation. They pretty much said that they couldn't find the person.
It's not like he didn't have a bad record, because he did cut himself and he did drop some.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like pictures on his Instagram where he had pictures like of guns and ammo and stuff like that. And apparently the original reason why he got kicked out of school was because he brought ammo in his backpack to school. So this one teacher, I don't remember the teacher's name, but said that if you see this kid with a backpack, he's not allowed on school property. So we don't know where that went wrong either. We don't know what mishap happened there for the kid to be allowed on property. It's still all being investigated. But it's a pretty crappy situation. And not one that the U.S. wants. So with this, of course, there's a bunch of backlash talking about gun laws as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's my mom earlier today. She was talking about it, and then also watching stuff about it on the news. And the kid said he had voices in his head telling him to do it. So it's not really a gun problem. It's a mental health issue.
Yeah. But I mean, it could also be a gun problem when you think about it. Like how is he able to get the guns is the real question upon the matter as well. Because
there is easy access.
Yeah, we have in America we have easy access to guns. Like anybody can go in and be like, yeah, my son here he really wants this like AK, even though AKs are bad.
I don't really think it was his gun. It could have been like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, anybody can sit there and bring their kid into a store and be like, yo, Dad, I want that Glock right there. And the dad will be like, all right, son. Here, I'm dropping about $12,000 on a Glock. Go ahead. Have fun. Don't you try out.
12,000?
That's a lot of money for a Glock.
Yeah, I know. I'm just putting it out there, man.
Jason's gonna spend $2 a week on his kid.
I'm just sitting there throwing out a random number because I haven't looked into Glock prices, and nor will I.
Man, it wasn't that.
But yeah, so it is a serious topic that we need to discuss as well as gun control, because when you look at other countries like England, for example, they have stricter gun laws, and there's less shootings there than there is here.
I mean, like. When people do have easy access, they can, like, you could also fend off school shooters.
Yeah, but school systems don't allow teachers to have guns on them.
Yeah.
And we also don't know if the school actually had security or anything about that either.
Yeah, they could.
They could have had security that.
Metal detectors. Metal detectors.
I feel like that if you had, like, there was a teacher that sat there and warned everybody. I feel like if you had a warning, you probably should have taken some extra security measures for your school as well.
Yeah.
Besides just being like, oh, it's fine. Because now, as you see, we have like 17 deaths or more now, because apparently there were some in critical condition. We don't know how they're doing either. It's like 2 people in critical condition or something like that. So, yeah, it's great, you know. But, of course, when stuff like this happens, we automatically turn to gun laws, in which I'm not saying that we should take away guns. I'm not saying that we shouldn't. I'm just saying that it is a possibility that we should look at is guns, as well as also we should look into more of, like, protection for mentally unstable people, because we don't have that either. Like, we have it, but it's of people's own will to go.
We don't have, like, people to look in if anybody says something like that.
Yeah, like, it's also, like I said, it's also on the school's fault, because this should have been taken care of in the first matter. Like, the students shouldn't have been allowed on property, and there should have been up security as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting there talking like trash for any exact reason. I'm not trying to put any blame on people. I'm just saying there's possibilities that should have taken in measures that didn't. From my eyes, that is. I'm sorry if there's anybody that was in this case that happened and they're watching this. I'm sorry if I offend you, but this is just my personal thoughts upon the matter. And like I said, it's a sad matter, one that we shouldn't have to discuss in today's world, but sadly we do.
On like the gun control thing, usually, like in Columbine, like suspected. I mean, you would assume some people that do that would have the idea of natural selection, like
Yeah.
mentally unstable natural selection.
Yeah, like, I mean, we also saw, for example, that a lot of people after this were saying that, yeah, he was going to be a school shooter. And yet nobody reacted upon the situation.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I need to go shut my ceiling.
So it's kind of like, what are we supposed to do about this matter? Like, we're faced with some serious questions that we need to answer for.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's a sad situation that nobody wants to talk about, but we have to talk about it. Just like we had to talk about the Las Vegas shooting as well. So, yeah.
Oh.
There's something about that, the dude in the Las Vegas shooting.
Yeah, he
brought up gun laws. He didn't even use
he used legal guns, but he got this mod for his guns that turned it from like a slug, like a select fire mod that turned into a fully auto.
There are books on how to turn fully auto.
Yeah, and that's what caused him to be able to massacre as much people as he did. So, we should ban like that mod for sure, because we've seen the pod. Like, I'm not laughing. Like, I'm seriously not laughing. I'm just put in an awkward situation where that chuckle came out. Do not take me for like a Logan Paul situation here, but I mean, we should seriously like look into those mods as well. In my personal opinion, like, we shouldn't be able to have like a person take a semi-auto and turn it into like a fully auto that has the capability of mowing down people from long ranges.
Yeah.
Like, that just should not be a possibility in today's world. In my personal opinion, we shouldn't have, like, the population itself is so unstable that we shouldn't have the possibility for somebody that's unstable to take, like, a fucking semi-auto into it. Yeah, it's not, like, a general part, because it's, like, a certain percentage of people.
Yeah.
1% are psychopaths,
and
like
3% or whatever.
Yeah.
4 or 5%.
But we also haven't seen those stats either. Like, we don't know if those are actually true stats. Because I saw that popping up everywhere on Facebook, and just what you see on Facebook isn't always true. So we don't know if those statistics are true, though.
It is from the... I'm pretty sure those are, like, actual... Because,
yeah,
I mean...
We can't be for sure. Because you know how much serial killers that we've had in the world? 1% of, like... How much people do we have in the U.S.? Like 500 something?
Yeah.
USA population.
300 million, I think.
321.1 million as of 2016. So, if we just take that and just do 1% of that, that is 3,231,000 people that are just serial killers. Then if we do 3% of that, we have 9,693,000 that are sociopaths, according to that logic. So again, that's some high numbers out of the small, the big population that we have. Those are still high numbers to look at. Because, like, we have 50 states. That means there's one in each state. You know? For sure.
Not all of them will kill in their life.
Yeah, not all of them will kill,
Yeah.
but yeah.
They are dangerous.
Yeah. Which is, again, why it comes back to a mental health problem as well. Because we don't have just set, like, mental health institutes for people that we know for sure are unstable. Because it's, again, up to the person's consent to go to these places.
Then we also don't have enough people to find out if these people are unstable.
Yeah. So that's also something we need to look into with this situation as well. Same with any shooting. Like, any massive shooting.
Yeah. I'm doing a bit of both since I'm playing Vigar and not much skill, but
yeah. And then we also have to, like, look at certain stuff like that for sure. We can't just sit there and look at gun laws, because gun laws are not always the solution either.
On the sociopath thing, a lot of people can be like, a lot of those people can have sociopathic tendencies and be labeled as a sociopath. So not all of them, well, I mean, a part of them is going to be dangerous and unhinged.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's enough to be like a mass shooter.
Yeah.
And then also on the gun laws, even if there are laws against guns, there's still going to be some people.
Yeah, there's still going to be people that bring in guns, just like people that bring in weed. Same with, like, if we make abortions illegal, there's still going to be a mass number of people that get abortions. It's just it's a simple fact that there's still going to be people that get guns. There's still going to be people that have abortions. There's still going to be people that get drugs. So, but as we've seen with, like, let's just take abortions and drugs, for example. We've seen several times, though, in other countries like South America, they banned abortion, and the abortion rate spiked up. Whereas when we've banned, like, other places that have those illegal, they have never been at that high of numbers. So that's not a good thing to really ban, in my opinion. But it's a talked about thing as well. So, and then with drugs, we've seen when people ban drugs, such as weed, during the drug wars, we saw an increase in drug use tremendously, and a bunch of people going to jail for issues that we didn't need them to go to jail for. So it's just a matter of, like, what will happen with the outcomes as well.
Yeah.
Because as we've seen in, like, England, like, for example, they have they have more gun laws and, like, less shootings. Unlike Paris, where Paris, they had the train incident, but that was just because.
But they also have acid attacks, so.
Yeah, they have acid attacks where people throw water on
acid.
Yeah, throw water on those with not parentheses.
Well, no, like actual.
I know. Like, they thought they would think as water, but then they'd just throw it in their face and burn people's faces off. Yeah, that's a serious threat as well that we should look into. But also with, like, these shootings as well, immediately everybody just turns into, like, gun laws. Gun laws, whereas we need to look at all the factors and get all of the information and then react upon it. As well, like we've done with the Las Vegas, the Florida one with the gay club as well.
Yeah.
And again, this was, like, a bunch of people will probably also point out, like, terrorism. This was a guy that was inside our own country that committed this terrorist attack. Alright?
Yeah, and he didn't have any. He wasn't pushing for any change by doing this. He was just doing it to do it.
Yeah, like, he wasn't doing it for any other, like, person out there. He wasn't doing it for ISIS. He wasn't doing it for anybody else besides his own purpose.
He wasn't doing it for any gain.
Yeah. So, again, that will also be a matter that gets brought up more than likely. Is, like, was he doing it for ISIS? Was he doing it for a gang? Was he doing it for other cults? Which he wasn't. We've already figured that out, that he isn't. So, again, we have another inside terrorist attack in just the past 2 years that we should also look into. We sit there and, like, we like to point fingers at other races for terrorist attacks, but we also need to look at ourselves for this matter as well. And what do you guys have to say upon it?
I think a lot of terrorist attacks and other things boil down to a form of like a mental problem.
Yeah.
Because
it's as simple as that, though. I mean, like, people want to point fingers at everybody, whereas we have our own terrorist attacks from inside our own country as well.
I mean, like, the gun laws they're flawed, but they're also, like, I mean, we need the right to defend ourselves.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we don't either, though. Like,
yeah,
it is something to look at as well, though. Because, again, I don't think that our population should be allowed to have, like, a fully fucking auto rifle that is capable of, like, doing the exact job that it needs to do, which is mow down as much people in a crowded area as possible. That's exactly why they have those guns in the military, but yet we have them in our population, because why? Like, I'm not blaming the gun, because it's also the person, but it is another factor to look at, for sure.
Yeah.
Just as, like, the factor of looking at the person, we need to look at that as well. It's just as simple as that. It's not black and white gun laws. It's not black and white mental either. We're stuck in this gray situation that we need to look at. And again, this is like a really sad topic that we probably are going on the edge talking about in the first podcast ever, the Jade Boys, but it is something that happened recently that we needed to discuss. So, shall we move on from this sad topic and go on to the next topic, which is also another gun incident. So, I don't know if you guys know who Gavin Free is and Meg Turney.
I know since you told me, but
Jason, do you know who they are?
I've heard their names before, but I can't remember.
Alright, so Gavin Free is from the Slow Mo Guys and from the great Rooster Teeth that we all know and love. And then Meg Turney, I don't know where she's from exactly because I don't watch her. I just know that she's also another YouTuber. But they live in Austin, Texas. Somebody from New Mexico came driving down to their house with the intent to break into their house, which he did. He fired a gunshot at the window, broke into their house. They woke up to the gunshot, climbed inside their closet, and called the police. And they Gavin Free has a ton of security cameras around, so it caught him. And after the guy was in there for a while and couldn't find them, he fired another shot, and while he was leaving, the cops showed up and arrested him. Well, they didn't arrest him, actually. He fired shots back at the cops, and one of the cops shot and killed the man. So, I don't know the guy's name, nor do I want to display the guy's name, because that's exactly what people want when they do acts like this. They want their name to be displayed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to say his name, nor do I care to know his name. But this is another instance where we have to look at this situation as itself. And we just got lucky that 2 people were not found inside their house at night. And we were lucky that the cops arrived on time to handle the situation as well.
Yeah.
But again, this is another scenario that we have to look at. It's still stuck in that gray situation. Because what it turned out was that the guy had conversations on voicemails saying that he wants Gavin Free to die a man with no kids. Alone. He wants him to die alone with no kids. That way the guy can take Meg Turney for himself.
That's obsession.
Yeah, it was bad. They said that he was extremely obsessed to that point. That he premeditated this for months on end and then finally decided to do it. So again, we need to look at all of the situations that we talked about earlier because we're still stuck in this gray situation upon black and white matters.
Yep.
Do what, Jason?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mental health, guns, all that.
And so, again, another sad topic that we had, that we brought up in this podcast. The rest of the podcast won't be as bad for sure. I can't say for sure actually, because This is where three idiots commentate over some relevant topics. So we don't know for sure upon what will happen.
And we're not fake news, so we'll tell the truth.
Yeah, we're telling the truth.
And we're not CNN, so, we won't leak you.
Yeah, we're telling the truth, and we're giving our opinions on the matter.
That was a fat Naomi. That Naomi, she was like the fattest doll ever. She did so much damage.
So, the next thing that I have on my list, I don't know if you guys found anything interesting. I know you got the helicopter thing to bring up, Grady. But the next thing was this matter that YouTube posted because it's Black History Month. And they posted it on Twitter. Roses are red, violets are blue. Subscribe to Black creators. What do you guys think upon this issue?
I do what I want. I'll subscribe to whoever I want, regardless of their skin color. Retain my subscription. If they don't, suck it.
Yeah. What do you think, Jason?
Same as Grady. I do what I want.
See,
don't tell me how to live my life.
Me and Zach, my friend Zach, we had a great debate upon this. And it came down to us agreeing on the same matter, that what YouTube posted, yes, they have whatever comes to them because it's their word, but a lot of people were offended because they're saying that you should subscribe. My God, if I can talk, to somebody because of their race. That's what everybody was offended about. But what we came down to it was that it's not exactly YouTube's fault, and it's not, because I also brought up Disney, because Disney has Black History Month ads that teach people about leaders in Black history, and it's an unskippable ad on their TV programs. It's not their exact fault for what they've said. Yes, it is their fault for what they said and what they've done, but it also would have never happened without the month in existence itself. And what we confirmed is that the month itself creates more of a divide between, because everybody was wanting to say this creates a divide in YouTube, this creates a divide everywhere, but we confirmed with each other that the month itself, Black History Month, which I'm not trying to offend everybody, but it creates more of a divide within our nation than what these two companies have done. What do you guys think?
I'm with Morgan Freeman's opinion. I don't really see a point in Black History Month.
Yeah, I don't either. I'll quote the great iDubbbz. If we're gonna do it for one, then we gotta do it for all. If we're not gonna do it for one, then we're not gonna do it for all. That's the way I see it, and that's how it should be. Because we've had, this is about Black histories, which I know a bunch of Black people had a bunch of problems with their history coming up to now, but that's nothing. Of course it's something, but it's nothing when you look at other races as well, because we had the Chinese that we put to work on our railroads. We also had the Japanese that we put in internment camps.
Every ethnicity has been a slave at some point in history.
The Native Americans.
The Native Americans had to walk the Death Valley, or Death Valley. Oh my gosh, if I could talk.
The path of tears. Trail of Tears.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So, every race has had a problem. Besides, I guess, white people. I mean, white people, you can look at Germany. For example, Jews.
Yeah.
Jews could be white, black, any color. And they were killed. So, again, every race has had an issue. So we should either celebrate all of the histories or none of the histories, in my opinion.
And then, also, you're segregating a whole month to these one people. Doesn't that seem, and you're not doing it for anybody else, doesn't that seem a bit racist?
Yeah, that's what we came down to with our debate, is that it seems more racist that we have this month than what the companies said. Yes, the companies are at fault for what they said, but it's more so on our government for creating this month for us to celebrate. Because, again, we don't celebrate anybody like the creator of Mario. We don't celebrate anybody else from, as a certain history. We don't celebrate any other races. We could easily celebrate Japan for their, revolutionizing the gaming industry. We could celebrate South Korea and for revolutionizing the esports era. we can celebrate a lot of this, but yet we don't.
We can celebrate Russia for making the biggest nuke ever.
Yeah.
Oh, and like having alcoholic addictions, we could celebrate them.
Yeah, I mean, like we could celebrate Germany for Einstein. Like, I mean, there's a lot, all right, and we're not doing it. So I think the month itself creates more of a divide than anything else. I'm not personally offended by what YouTube or Disney does with this month. I think they're free to say whatever they want and do whatever they want. But I think that the month's the problem. If you want to point fingers and say this company did it wrong, then you should point fingers at all the companies because they also celebrate the month. So I think the real issue with this matter is that it relies on the month solely and not with one certain company.
Yeah.
You guys can say whatever you want upon this matter. Or shall we continue on?
I don't have anything to say. I agree.
I don't have anything either.
So, Grady, you want to bring up your topic? I couldn't see it. I tried to read it, but I couldn't. It wouldn't open up.
On Mexico?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like the other day or yesterday when they had a 7.7 an earthquake that ranked like 7.7 on the scale, and there was also a helicopter crash.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple people killed, but the seismic activity wasn't really related to the crash. So I'm pretty sure that's still being investigated.
Yeah. Well, like, was it? I'm assuming this helicopter was in the air, or was it taking off?
It was still in the air.
Alright, I don't think that the seismic activity would have had anything to do with it. My personal thoughts on that. I don't know. If there's some way that could have, I don't see how. But I'm not a scientist, so.
Korea failing their missiles again.
Their hydrogen bombs, yeah. No, that's something that we should look into.
Why would they hit the Mexicans though? That's a supply of like spice and stuff, dude.
Well, you could like hit.
That's Mexico. The supply of all of our drugs, man. We want our drugs, man.
You could hit Mexico's tectonic plate, not Mexico itself.
Like
I was thinking,
it's like a torpedo.
There was a
mafia. A fault line.
There was like a drug cartel in Mexico at some point, and they kept stealing some. I don't know what it was, but it was like this place's farms, and then the place got guns, and they would recruit men from the village, and they took back all of their farms.
Whoa, exciting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The militia.
Yeah, they made their own militia.
Gosh dang it, Joe.
I'm just dying over here. Yeah, in case you guys couldn't tell, I'm also sick. So, yeah, that's why all that coughing and stuff is there.
Nah, he's smoking too much.
Yeah, smoking way too much. Oh man, I know I should have had some more of that extra devil's lettuce today.
And also, every time he coughs,
dug out of the sewer or something.
Yeah, knew I shouldn't have had any of that.
You may be able to hear it if you listen, but before every time he coughs, you can hear him swallow. He's doing shots.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Anything that we should talk about, like game-wise, as well, guys? I know that the Darwin Project is doing a open test, like a stress test right now. I couldn't get access to it, but I really wish I could have. That game looks like it's gonna be dope.
Slay the Spire's doing pretty good.
So, anything you guys have coming up for games, stuff like that?
I gotta think here.
I know there's new Sword Art Online games coming out soon as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have checked into that.
I read like the newer books. The books are good, but they're also weird.
Yeah, I don't read that stuff, so I can't say anything. I've watched the anime. my real question is how the game is going to be, because the other games were complete shit. Like, that's the easiest way to put it. They were legit shit. So
I'm not the biggest Sword Art Online fan. For me, it's like Bleach.
I'm a huge Sword Art Online fan, so when I see a game, I get really hyped, but then I sit there and wait for the reviews to come in, which I'm doing for this game as well. I want to see where the reviews go with it, because the last games, like I said, were shit, and I'd rather us not fall into that. I'd rather not buy this game for $60 and it to be complete shit like The Division. So that's just my personal opinion.
I'm waiting on.
There's this weird crap on my door.
Have you seen like the new Kingdom Hearts 3?
Oh yeah, I've stuff.
Have you guys played?
A couple posts.
Have you guys ever played the Kingdom Hearts?
I think I played a little bit of it.
I haven't.
Bro, I'm super hyped for that game. I'm gonna be like running upstairs when it comes out, kick my sister right in the face, and take the PlayStation 4 I gave her just to play the game.
Just launch your sister out the window.
Yeah, just to play Kingdom Hearts 3. So
send her back into the uterus.
So if you're hearing this, Square Enix, you better give me that fucking game for free. Otherwise, my sister will be fucking killed for this game.
Can someone please ban Mundo?
I'm
Maybe
joking,
he
by
should
the
have
way.
banned him himself.
Should we talk about League since you're playing League?
Jason's not big on League.
With like the brokenness of some heroes. Zoe.
Oh!
Zoe.
Darius.
Zoe.
Garen.
Man, Zoe. Yeah, man, Zoe needs to be fixed. There's several heroes that need to be fixed in that game, in my opinion. Just don't touch X-Wraith, right? If you touch X-Wraith, I will quit the game. Instant. I'll uninstall.
I've never played League.
Whenever I come over to your house again, Jason.
You're not missing out on a lot. I mean, it's a fun game. It's just another MOBA, in my opinion. It's like a really good MOBA. But you're not missing out.
Fight me, Joey.
You're not missing out on a ton.
Fight me.
Like I said, it's a fun game. I like to spend my time in it.
You
but
fight me.
It's not like a life or death matter if you have to play the game.
It is.
But it isn't.
Because the community's trash.
Yeah, that's why. It's
like an instant, like, you get on and it's...
So, somebody goes, suck my dick, faggot! You're just like standing in the background of like the fucking
Joey.
battle and you're like, suck my dick, bitch!
Joey.
Yeah.
Remember Mind Night?
Oh yeah. That game's great if anybody wants a fun game to play. My Night, Deceit.
That ruins all of your friendships.
Yeah, My Night and Deceit are the ways to go right there if you want friendship ruining games.
It's... My Night is not good if you play with the top 12th person in the world. They're like, fucking what you do?
Everybody's yelling at each other in Discord calls. Yeah, it's great.
If they're an agent, they're always annoying and won't shut up. And
if you're a hacker, then you get fucked if they're like smart.
Trust if all you do is talk and tell them that they're a hacker.
Yeah, I don't know. Man.
He's probably boosted.
I like the game. Like I said, if you guys want a fun friendship ruining game, Deceit and Mind Night. Mind Night, not Midnight. Mind Night. That's where it's at.
No, it's Midnight. Joseph Joey Strong.
Yeah, just go look up Midnight. You'll fucking have a great time with that game as well. Guaranteed.
That golf game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. It's great.
Me and Ralph looked up the same game and I was like,
Joey,
I don't think that's multiplayer.
I looked it up as well. If you guys really want something that's extremely fun, Roblox, that's where it's at there too.
Oh yeah. I caused a nuclear meltdown on Roblox one time.
Yeah.
All you have to do is call 12-year-old salty.
Just call them Jake Paulers, and then the low gangers will get offended. And then
Remember when me, you, and Janie played Joey that one game?
Oh yeah. I like also how we've been off topic from the regular podcast. This is where the fun part of the podcast gets. We go into like the ending here, and we just have straight up fun, right? It's like the H3 podcast now. We're just gonna have fun here, alright?
I have some of this like weird black crap on my door.
Nobody cares about your chewing issues, Jason.
It's sticky.
Why are you touching it?
It's your Mexican black tar heroin.
Yeah, guaranteed.
And it's like in the shape of, the tread on boots. It's kind of like that.
Your dad probably stepped in like Peter's crap and just wiped it on your door.
Looks like Peter's shit in your room.
Alright.
Have you read Game of Thrones yet, Jason?
I've read some of it. I'm not reading that much this year.
Read it. It's good.
The books I got from school.
A dragon bends over.
I let him. I let him borrow. The first.
A long time ago.
Yeah. I got another copy of it, so if you want to keep it, you can.
So, do you guys think this is a good place to end the podcast? I mean, we talked on the matters that we discussed, that we're going to discuss.
No, this is the fun part of the podcast where we just talk about life.
The biggest shark. Whale sharks.
Yeah.
The biggest shark. That shark from Shark Dating Simulator, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
For all those tits were on screen for quite some time before I got them off. It was pretty bad. Oh yeah, if you guys haven't watched that stream, go ahead and watch that stream. Shameless plug, like popping up right now. Go watch it. Also,
don't let Joey shame you into watching his Dollar Tree store videos.
Also, guys, if you are getting to the end of this podcast and you missed like most of it, or for some reason you just want to replay it but you don't want to play it on YouTube, I plan on taking the MP3 file of this and posting it onto SoundCloud. So that'll be there. If you want to go look at it, I'll try to reserve the Jade Boys name and then upload it on the podcast.
This isn't the end, Joey. This is the middle.
Yeah, this is just somewhere. Yes, Jason, yes.
You know what the brightest shark is?
What?
The cookie
Your face.
Shark.
You know why I said it was your face, Jason?
Who's Jason's a shark?
Your
Also,
face is like a shark whose dorsal fin glows bright red.
Also, guys, this isn't the official.
Fight, Grady.
This also is not the official logo that you see here. We have a logo being made. It just isn't finished yet. That will be, when it is finished, we'll post it onto the thumbnail as on here. And then the next podcast, which is coming next Saturday, we will have it on display instead of this icon. Also, hopefully this doesn't seem pretty boring. I know it's a still image and we're discussing matters and you can't see gameplay or anything. If you guys want gameplay, let me know. I'll pre-record gameplay and post it on here. That way you guys can listen to our voices while there's gameplay playing. Just let me know.
There's some thoughts in my jungle.
Grady over here talking about my nose.
Yeah, Jason's the
You're like
brightest
a
shark in
hammerhead
the
shark
world.
that has like a 5,000-foot hammer.
You saying my eyes are on the side of my face? Is that a racist joke, Jason?
Yes, it is.
Is it because I'm a Native American, so you think you're superior to me?
You ain't known. You're part Native American.
Yeah, that's true. I'm either like 12% or like 25%, somewhere around in there.
So, I think myself personally, I think this is a good place to stop the podcast. We've had our fun for a little bit. It's reached the hour mark, close to it. What do you guys think?
It just reached the hour mark for me. So.
It's at currently like 59 minutes.
Dude, I hate these guys. These people are donkeys. I hate them.
Grady, you're a donkey.
Fight me.
Alright. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of the Jade Boys podcast. We will be having more podcasts. We'll try to get some guests on in the next episode. Again, if you think that we should put up gameplay...
We need to get Jamie on this, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, again, if you think that we should put on gameplay or something, be sure to let us know. If you guys also want to re-listen to this, I'll have it posted on SoundCloud more than likely. I will try to do that as fast as possible. Anyways, though, this has been the Jade Boys podcast, and we'll see you guys later.
I love you.